Well, none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots, yeah. None of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots. I'm telling you now, the truth. Telling you, yeah, the truth, the truth. You have to go back to the roots, the roots. Go to the roots, to the roots. Yeah, man, you know, this is Benjamin out of the Smiling Coast, West Africa, Gambia, representing for the one and only Abu, the big man you don't know, the Soninke warrior, the man that brings the truth, Soninke warrior, the sign of enlightenment, the Soninke warrior, the righteous and the true African. Abu, reveal the truth to them, you know, no matter how them try run from it, because none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Yes, we have to dig back the roots, yeah. Fire!
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me again. I bet that was a great introduction. You're thinking like, man, this is good. But today, I'm going to talk about when Blaxit visited the UN's, the Unapologetic Negropeans platform. But ladies and gentlemen, before we get into that, I'm going to give you a little bit of background of what I'm talking about here, because a few days ago, I believe, I made a video about Blaxit making a live video talking about bringing the Kunta Kinte Day to the Gambia, and you know, for the most part, a lot of you gave it a thumbs up. Some people, you know, they are still in denial. They gave it the thumbs down, but they couldn't present their argument. But yet, things that brought Blaxit to the Unapologetic Negropeans channel and what I was talking about, you know, were different, but in sort of the same context. But now this is involving, you know, Blaxit being a real estate agent in the Gambia, because, you know, now trying to sell the Wakandan dream to black people in the Western world, you know, meaning, you know, the United States, the UK, you know, wherever in Europe or even in the Caribbean, because now I'm seeing more and more people showing interest to go to Africa. But now, that interest, we have to look at where these people are coming from. The reason why I'm going to discuss why it was so easy for people to become, victims of these, quote unquote scams, allegedly. Because when Blaxit came to the Unapologetic Negropeans channel, I must say, the Unapologetic Negropean is someone that, in the beginning, when I started watching his videos, I didn't quite understand, where he was going with it. But I was like, you know what? Let me just watch and see what this guy is talking about. And in fact, I did make videos where, I criticized him whatsoever. But, hey, that's how the world is, right? Sometimes you have to, give yourself the chance to understand, what's going on. But that only comes with maturity and understanding. You cannot be in your feelings. And I've been telling people this. Whenever you come across people, you start identifying with individuals based solely on skin color. It blinds you. Time and time again, people keep telling others about it, but they don't understand. In fact, I was on several shows where these people, they are black Americans, born and raised in America. They've never been to Africa whatsoever. In fact, they do not understand that there is no such thing as Africa that's made up by Europeans. We, the people that live there, for instance, I'm privy to the European standard of how things are called. And obviously, I went to Western school. My friends, people I know, all went to Western school. So we are going to define things according to that standard. But if you speak to, I know people who can't read or write, they don't know, the standard. So that's not how people identify one another. There's clearly differences between people in Africa where everyone have dark skins. I'm talking about in the same country, there is a difference. So when I was trying to explain that, people started getting into their feelings and started getting upset. Of course, these are black people from America. Like as if, they were attacking me as if I'm the one that's making that rule. If you must know, in America, right? America is the greatest they produce news, to try to turn it into a reality. It's a big business in America. So when you come from a place where I come from, where reality is reality, I look at what they present, like, I just look at it like, I laugh at it. I just observe and I continue living in reality. If you notice, in my conversations, I don't ever use terms like my reality, my truth. No, it's either reality or not, or it's either the truth or not the truth. But now you have individuals that come on the internet. They are sitting there they are explaining to other people, other Americans or even Africans, quote unquote Africans. They are explaining Africans to themselves. So, like, I would show up and they would start quoting books to me. I'm like, all right, hold on. I said, but the books that you're quoting, they are talking about me. Instead of you quoting those books, I'm here now. Why don't you talk to me directly? You can get the clear answer. But do you think these people want that? Absolutely not. Because they are fixated on this idea of Pan-Africanism. They think the power is in the skin color and the numbers. But that's not how it is. Once you leave the United States or Britain, wherever you are. You come to Africa, whatever country you come to. Just be yourself. You can exist as your own entity. You don't have to force your ideas on people. I'll tell you a secret. Gambia, especially, and most African people, you see them, you come in contact, there's, you're smiling with one another. Okay, if you grow up in America, in the hood, in the ghetto, because I've met people from the ghetto, the only difference between them and the average Gambian that I know is the language barrier. Okay? You want to talk about Pookies and Rere in America, you would find the prototypes in the Gambia. So I'm very, very hip to that type. So people want to waste their time to get fixated on skin color instead of understanding human behavior. And you don't have to look at things like in terms of, evil at all times or bad or seeing yourself as the victim. This is why people like Juliet were able to sell you this dream of relocating to Africa. And you know what? I don't blame her. I don't want people to confuse it that I'm here to, quote unquote, people would say, bash her. It was very interesting to watch what was happening on the Unapologetic Negropeans channel. It was very interesting. I was like, wow, the Pan-African dream is right here, right in front of us. A black British woman via Jamaica was able to travel to tiny Gambia. You look at Gambia, the map of the country is like a snake. I was thinking about that. Do you think that means something? And that piece of land over there in the Gambia, if you read the history closely, you would find out that too many people they've went to war back to back for that land. Not only the black Africans, I'm talking about Europeans themselves. The Europeans themselves, white people, have fought wars over that piece of land. So it's no shocker to me that people are going at this right now. So the only thing that blew my mind, which I wasn't quite shocked about it, was the Gambian guy who, he came on the show all emotional, angry, Gambian Pookie or Rere version. You get the point. If you're from America, he was there with his wife. I guess she's the black British Shaniqua. Because if you watch the video, oh man, she was totally, shutting him down, treating him like a beta male. But now this dude comes on. He wants to tell us how he is from Gambia. He knows Gambia, blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine. You should have put all that together before you separate yourself from your money. But no, because a lot of people, they are in a hurry. Let me tell you something. In Gambia, the dream is that you want to grow up, travel, and buy land. Land is a valuable thing, and build this land. But now, what Juliet is doing, or Blaxit, what she is doing, what I saw there, and what they've explained, this land scheme, this is old news. Okay? This is old news for most of you. Right here, I'm going to bring someone at some point, a friend of mine, who was scammed. He grew up with this guy, literally. They went to high school together. He scammed about 18 grand. I'm not talking about $18,000. I'm talking about dollars. So Juliet, right? She leaves the UK, where she's already mastered how to sell this Pan-African story. She's good at it. I have to give that to her. And the Gambia is a place where I have to say majority of the people, you know, they're illiterate. They can't read or write, but they're friendly, nice people. And you can easily integrate into the society. And from watching Blaxit, I can tell she's fully integrated into that society. And I saw another Gambian who was super emotional talking about Juliet is not important, in that society, blah, blah, blah. Look, people, don't let that guy fool you. Who does that guy think he's fooling? We've all seen videos of Blaxit being adopted by the village. We already seen that. And if he's truly Gambian, which he sounds very Gambian, he already knows the village now owes allegiance to her. They are not going to drop her. They are now looking at her like one of their daughters. So now, what are you going to do? You're going to go around on a campaign to try to turn the village against her? Good luck with that. So this idea that she's not important, that guy is just fooling himself. He said anyone can just go meet the president. That is not true. That is delusional. You know this and I know this. But these people are caught in their feelings. How can you, a Gambian, knowing that the land scheme is the biggest come up in the Gambia, people's own family members would scam them. They would set them up and scam them. This happens. And now the guy in that video, the one that was saying that Blaxit scammed him and his wife. Okay, the question that we should be asking, why didn't he deal with the people he knows? He knew in the Gambia. Because he was trying to express to all of us that he knew the Gambia, he knows people there. The wife, I get it. She's from the UK. She's married to him. So he should have been the connection, the bridge between her and whatever is going on over there. But instead, she's the one that came up with the idea. This is why they say, anytime a man listens to a woman, you suffer. And this is true. This is no shade on women. I know some of you are probably going to get upset, but I'm telling the truth. I'm thirsty there. But now, in the video, right, you notice, first, the Negropean invited all these people. And a lot of you that like to, quickly jump and start calling people haters, you need to get out of your feelings, especially if you're African. This is what makes me laugh when I see a lot of you Africans that come, to these YouTube spaces, to these fake pro-black channels. You're like, oh yeah, we all should be one. So, okay. So you mean to tell me you can't even get along with the people that you know, but you're going to go seek, other people that you don't even know. You're going to get along with those people. And what are you guys going to get along on? And I've asked this question because they say unity. What are we uniting on? Because let's not forget, the reason why Blaxit is able to do what she's doing. First, she came as a refugee. Here's why. She was selling a sad story. to everyone on the internet. She said the white man was racist. It was tough in the white man's country. They are hunting black people. This was the story. You can't miss it. She's made tons and tons of videos about this. So now, do you understand these people are bringing ideas? People like Blaxit, Juliet of Blaxit. Now the idea is, they said, we are pro-blacks, they are pan-Africans. But they didn't ask you what your idea is, what version of pan-African you are. They didn't ask you that. They've already decided that for you. If you dare go against it, then you are a hater. You want to stand against progress. I guarantee you, when I watched that video, the dude, the Gambian guy, I forgot his name, but the guy that was bragging about, he's from Gambia, the Pookie guy. Him and his British Shinekwa, the one that just kept cutting the husband off, going on and on and on. That type of attitude. So I'm telling you right now, people, I'm not here to tell you who is who, but they will come and show you, and I will pick up on it and analyze and break it down for you and tell you exactly what you're not seeing. This land wars, this has been ongoing in the Gambia for a long time. For a very long time. Even amongst Gambian families. You go to the courts, there's wars that are tied up there. In fact, one time, many years back, I used to have a roommate. He's my cousin at the same time, back in the days, working hard, living in the basement with him. Look, this guy worked hard, okay? He was sending his money over. They said, oh, we're going to buy you land. I mean, I'm talking about, this is back in like 2005-ish, back in the days. So they told him they found a land by the airport. Apparently back in the days, that was the, hot spot. Everybody wanted to be there. So he told me about it. He was excited. I said, look, man. I said, I believe in the saying, a fool would soon part ways with his or her money. He's like, man. He said, you like to philosophize everything. I said, you know this? I don't have stories of how somebody scammed me. I said, they are just upset that they cannot scam me. I said, guess what? Because I don't put anyone in charge of quote-unquote investment. Because first of all, why would you buy a land that you yourself as an individual can't even see? But long story short, he sent the money. They said they bought the land. So the same thing, the same argument that the people were having on the Unapologetic Negropeans channel about Blaxit, the paperwork. When it came time for the paperwork, you know what they told him? They said 4 people. Apparently this land was sold to 4 different individuals. You see? So, and the people he was dealing with are his own relatives. Ask yourself, how in Africa, especially a poor country like Gambia, if that's that individual's own money over there in the Gambia, if this is true, do you think amongst them they would part ways with their $5,000, $6,000, $7,000? I'm not dollars without questions. No, they wouldn't. I know that. You from there, you know this. But the people that part ways with it, with their money, we call them fools. But now, you're in the Western world. They are blowing smoke up your ass. They're putting heavy black tax on you and you fall for it. So this guy, you would think they would stop there, right? They got about 6-7 grand from him. This is his own, I'm talking own family. So everything I was watching on the Unapologetic Negropeans channel is exactly how this happened. And I'm telling you, this is back in 2005. So I call it the Gambian job. Gambia doesn't have diamond and all this, but I'm telling you, land is the come up. Even the president that's there right now, right this minute, he himself used to be a hustler in the UK. He in fact got deported by the country over there, and he entered the land business. So he was like a Juliet. You see what I'm saying? So people don't understand. Okay, let me see. I'm gonna drop the link here for Fang. So what I'm trying to say to people here is, I get it. You are excited about, going to Africa whatsoever, but don't put yourself in a bind. Okay? I get it. A lot of you were talking about, oh, these people in the diaspora, the Africans, they are not doing this and that, blah, blah, blah. But now, since you people don't know, the other people there directly, Juliet got there. I believe that she believed in the repatriation stuff, and then she learned what the hustle is. The market is not regulated. The courts are tied up. They keep mentioning the Alcalo. Look, if you only collect the Alcalo paper, you've been duped. Okay? You've been duped. So now, since you cannot make direct, contact with the other people down there, I believe, because the way everything sounded like just like my, distant cousin, how he was hustled by his own people. And there's many stories like this that I can tell you. Many of them. But people have to separate themselves from going with the collective mindset. When you do something, it is you that's done it. Don't hide behind, quote unquote, oh, we all black, we all African. And I notice this is even on tribe level, even in the Gambia. That's how they groom you. If they scam you, they always say, oh, it was Satan that caused it. We are all family, we are all one tribe. Oh, let's not allow other people to hear it. This is going to be a shame. You are separated from your money. So now, I have seen videos where Blaxit was talking about selling lands. But when she came on the Unapologetic Negropeans channel, when the people started talking about legal issues, she used a language to make it clear to say, no, I am not selling lands. Folks, give me a second here. Hello? Fang.
Hi, hello. Almost sleeping. I'm on my bed right now, almost to go to sleep.
Yeah. Did you in fact, I did see you on the Unapologetic Negropeans channel when Blaxit came there and her husband. So watching it, Fang, how they they were screaming, yelling, getting upset. when it wasn't even necessary. Even when they're allowed to speak, they seem like they're threatening people. I mean, do you think my assessment is correct if I say, do you see it that way?
Yeah, it's correct because I didn't watch everything because I had to leave the show, and also not because of her. I'm not afraid of her. Believe that, but obviously, if we are going to be in the same on the same live stream, something is going to happen anyways. I wanted just people to listen. Yeah, what she was trying to say, it doesn't matter. He was threatening people.
Right.
Because if we don't listen, we cannot understand.
But now the issue here is, if you look at all these people that are upset today, because if you go back on my channel, I made a video talking about the Pan-African movement, the pro-black. When you hear all this, it's about donations and trying to scam other black people in the name of blackness. But people call it a negative video, a hating video, because the Blaxit, she went and did her own live. I don't know if you were aware of that. And on that live, the Wakandan Queen came on the channel as well. You know who the Wakandan Queen is, right?
No, I don't follow YouTube as you think. No,
Oh,
believe that.
that is Gina of the Bijou Noir.
Oh, I was there. She kicked me off.
Yes, exactly. Okay.
Just right now, almost. No, just right now, almost right now.
Well, this is my other point that I'm coming to, that makes this whole thing looks so dirty. Because if you're talking about Gambia, for instance, and you as an individual, you are not a native of Gambia, you're speaking about Gambia to the world, but you don't want to allow Gambian on your channel, and this Gambian have to agree with you if they come on there. On everything. They don't have to speak about what the truth is. And I think, for the most part, it's dangerous not just to them, but the other black people that are watching. Because I know there's a lot of black people that are caught up in this, skin color thing, and they are the ones that end up becoming victims. As you could see, all the angry people that came talking about they want to speak to Juliet directly. You see?
Yeah.
So now, for me, as somebody from Gambia, I have always been talking about this, because in reality, we have to speak about facts, which is this right here. This is the actual, I call it the Gambian job.
Yeah.
Because when you go to Gambia, you have so many people running around. Everybody is in the land business. And I see other black people featuring these people, a lot of them on their channels, talking about, oh, these people are land dealers. So the only difference is right now, because the people, they don't understand. Us, the Gambians that came from Gambia from a while ago, we are also the target. If you go to the courts and you listen to stories, your mind will be blown. Your mind will be blown. So these people that are saying they go to the police to try to get Blaxit to respond, and the police didn't come, I'm not surprised by that. Like, I'm not going to be one of those people who's going to come here on the internet and start pretending and lying to you. If you separate yourself from your money, and as I heard, even from Blaxit's own mouth, she's got security now. Did you guys hear that? I heard apparently she's rolling around she's got a Range Rover, a Mercedes Benz, swimming pool. I mean, from her own mouth, she said she's got security now, right? So obviously, I'm not here to try to speculate. I'm just repeating exactly what is coming out of the horse's mouth. So now, you have to be an adult and put two and two together, right? Hey, how is that happening? You see what I'm saying? How's that happening? This is why when people are talking, you don't have to base it off of whether you like the person or not, or you belong or identify by a certain organization, and then you go all in without even taking a break to say, wait a minute, some things don't feel right. That Gambian guy that was getting upset, yelling, I mean, I hate to tell him, but he deserved it. Because if anyone should know the Gambian land hustle, should be a Gambian who is in the diaspora. Just a few months back, I knew someone who I grew up with. Okay? So this guy, he lives somewhere in Europe. I'm not going to specify the country, but I'm just going to, folks, give me a second here. Let me fix my camera here because the Fang is not here now. Oh, Fang, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. I'm
Okay,
here. I am.
okay.
Oh, I was sleeping,
Oh,
because it's
oh,
like
it's okay.
almost.
All right, I pulled you off of the camera there. I'm just the one on there. But what I'm trying to say here is, so this guy started telling me about he's into land business. So you have to understand, people talk to the people they are connected to try to get money out of them. So this guy, boom, he goes to the Gambia for vacationing, and then he started telling me, "Hey, check this out. I found this land is this amount." It's like, oh, it's only, $5,000, $5,000. He's like, that shouldn't be much for you. You see, this is what they do to some of you. They start fluffing you up and stuff. See, me, I don't fall for that. Like, I don't care about what you think about me or not. You see? Yes. St. James, I think the link is in there. Hold on, let me drop it again.
Wait, Zinja, so you don't want to let me go to sleep?
Okay, you go to sleep. I'll bring St. James in.
No, not yet, because you're not going to let me, because you now told you. I'll stay.
So, yeah, people. So the best, to get the real story, you have to talk to people like myself, because we know what we're talking about. Hey, St. James, can you hear me? St. James, can you hear me? Unmute yourself. St. James, unmute yourself. Oh, I think I'm not quite sure what's going on there, but let's see. Okay. Sorry about that, folks. St. James, try again. Hit the link again. But before I got distracted, what I was saying is, this is what the hustle is. You see what I'm saying? So now, Blaxit probably, she learned about it, and she knows this is the best way to make easy money. Straightforward. All right. Fang, can you hear me? Thank, can you hear us?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, okay, that was St. James. St. James, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. So, have you been listening to what I was saying about the Black Six situation? I don't know if you've been following.
Yes, I have been following and a little bit, and that's why I called in because I have few reaction about what I saw from the Negropean platform and the Blaxit platform. I just want to have an honest conversation with you since you're from the Gambia.
Right.
Okay, my first question to you, like listening to that guy who called from the UK, who was born in the Gambia and lived in the UK. So you and I will live in a diaspora. Now, as you said, how can a Gambian who was born in the Gambia can call somebody who just made it to the Gambia like what? Brexit is there for like 3 years,
Some like that.
and you sending money to someone who's not even like who doesn't even know the country better than you do to invest on your behalf. So and you sitting on this platform talking about that you know the country, you have family members. I was I was disturbed by what he was saying. Like I was hoping that you called that day, like that you are making an embarrassment for yourself. Like Africans, we don't move like that.
Absolutely not. That's the thing. Like, when I heard it, for instance, this is not something I haven't heard before. You
Right.
see? So, for him to trust, for instance, just like you said, Blaxit, to run it for him. And also, he wanted to come and confirm the villages that she was talking about.
Yeah.
Like, how do you not know, the difference until now?
Right.
You want to come on the internet and start telling all of us about how you know Gambia.
Right.
I can understand the what's the name, the lady China, and I think Dwayne, the black American guy.
Mm-hmm.
I can sort of understand, but even with them,
Mm-hmm.
they should have seen videos where there's other black people from America who went to Gambia. They didn't know anyone there, and they filmed it and bought land on their own. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
Gambia is that type of society, is welcoming. As long as you have the money,
Mm-hmm.
you can come there and buy the land. But now the people that are talking about the Lebanese, the Chinese, the Indians, all that's distraction.
Yeah, I can see that. I can
All
see
that
that.
is
I always tell
distraction.
people, like, yeah, it's distractions. Like if we they kind of like, okay, if we don't buy it, someone else is gonna buy it. I'm
Exactly,
not even.
because
I'm,
it blows my mind where people come on the internet, and what is accepted is the if you are somebody that's doing good, they they talk down on you. But the
yeah,
person that's doing bad, they want to, because they want to feel like they are better than someone else. Because if you look at the conversations about Africa, around Africa,
yeah,
if you listen carefully, you have a group of people who, number one, they are selling a story saying that they do not, like in America or in England, wherever they're at, they are being hunted by white people.
mm,
You see? So this
yeah,
is the story that's been told.
yeah,
But now, the same people turn around, the same individual, and we are not even aware that you've conquered your oppression that you talk about so much. Now you're talking about, oh, I'm going to save Africa.
yeah. That's quite interesting.
And the sad thing is, how you see Africans themselves, that come on the internet. And at first I thought these people were just talking, but seeing that a Gambian individual, a Gambian citizen born and raised, being duped by Juliet, I was like, wow, you
Yeah,
know.
that was, yeah,
But let me tell you something, St. James. One thing I can assure people, because the other Gambian guy was being emotional, talking about, oh, this woman is not important in that country, blah, blah, blah.
yeah,
He knows he's fooling himself. Let me
yeah,
tell you how that society works. First of all, this woman, she's shown us videos. She went to a village, right?
yeah.
The village adopted her as one of their own.
Okay.
So, first of all, the way the people operate, like in the villages, for instance, someone like me, if I go there, they're going to see me as very Western, you see?
Right,
But
right,
they know that I'm one of them. So, I can assure you they're looking at Juliet the same way. Because some of their own sons and stuff, they leave and go to the big city or come to Europe for a long time. You're still accepted, right?
right, right.
Okay. So, when they adopt you, they mean it. So, I don't want people to focus on that point to try to, ducks to say what is important and what is not important, or who is not or who is not.
Right.
The fact of the matter is, what is the Pan-Africanism about?
Yeah.
What is it about? And Gambia, for instance, we are in the country is constantly on YouTube everywhere, as you can see. All these these scams and stuff. That's where it is going on at. And Juliet, she's not doing anything here that a lot of other Gambians are not doing. In fact, when I heard the whole scheme, I was like, wow. I said she's actually Gambian for real. I'm talking about for
Yeah.
real, for real.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't want to sit here, because you have to ask yourself, first of all, how was she, if she's not really of the same nature and can fit in? How was she able to come from, quote unquote, the white man's country to fit in and start, doing what she's been accused of?
Right.
So, and another interesting thing happened. Did you watch my last video I made about Juliet and Blaxit? About
Which one?
about the Kunta Kinte Day?
That one I did not. I didn't watch that one. Nah. Yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Maybe over the weekend I will do it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I made the video, and the conversation. This is around the same conversation. I talked about there
Now,
was a guy.
without trying to cut you off, I have a question. Like you said, a village adopted her, right?
Right.
It is where she's getting the land, or she's getting the land across the Gambia.
No, this is okay. From the conversation, what I gathered is, so it is around the same area. But so the story is, these people, they send the money to her to get them a land in a village called Jambanjeli.
Okay.
But instead, the paperwork, whatever they received, is telling them about another place. And you know what? That
Right.
is so common.
Okay.
That is so common, because I know people, even a friend of mine. I don't know if you caught that part I was talking about. He is right now. In fact, when you Google the Gambian newspapers online, you can Google the Standard newspaper, and you
Okay.
would find this news story. A friend of mine, I'm gonna bring him on the channel to talk here. He got scammed by somebody, another Gambian. We went to school with him and everything,
Yeah.
or like almost 20 grand. And this is all this land situation. So I have been talking about this on Facebook for years because you know what? I've had people, even the video I drop,
Right.
they try to shame you to say, oh, you want to attack black people. You don't have this smoke for Lebanese. Show me a Lebanese person who is doing the same thing. I mean, I talk about the Gambian people as well.
Yeah.
So this is not about, this is about the truth. It's about, you know, people that are sitting here in America that
Right.
have deluded themselves that they are repatriating to Africa, but they are taking their hard-earned money, money they've been saving for years, and send it to somebody they just met on YouTube.
Right.
And even if you look at it, even right now, I have people that are calling me a hater.
Oh yeah, that happens.
I know.
That happens.
They're
Yeah,
calling
that
me,
happens.
and
Yeah.
I want people to understand one thing.
Yeah.
These people,
Yeah.
they operate, it's like a cult, because when Blaxit came on that show,
Yeah.
she had the platform to express herself, but
Correct.
she was being very, very dodgy about every question. I get it. The lady, you know, the British Shaniqua, you know,
Hmm.
she started acting all irrational. So it was sort of hard to follow it. But I get it. I understand her frustration and being very upset. I get that. But now people have to be realistic with themselves.
Right.
You know, like, okay, before I separate myself with my money, I
Hmm.
have to think hard about this. And also, for me personally, I don't get the point why you would buy a piece of land that you haven't seen. Like, I wouldn't buy a car I haven't seen, much
Yeah.
more a land. You know, and another thing, another game they play on you is they will call you, just like I was talking about this guy I grew up with, and it's people even here in the diaspora. When they go back there, they will call you. The guy calls me. He's like, "Oh, here's a land for 5 grand." He's like, "Come on, send it." I was like, "Dude, I am not interested." You know what I'm saying?
I
So,
know. I know. Yeah.
so Saint James, you know this, bro. If you if you go to Burkina Faso right now for your
Yeah.
vacation,
Yeah.
do you think the first thing you'll be thinking about is calling some friend in the diaspora to try to look for land for them and they didn't even send you?
Absolutely not.
You'll be enjoying yourself, right? Trying to have
I
a good
wouldn't even
time.
have time to answer my phone for the first 2 weeks.
Yeah. So this guy just tried to go on to convince me to, you know, sell the, you know how they do, like they would try to shame you, you know?
Right.
And they would start saying, you never know what's gonna happen. And I'm like thinking to myself, like, dude, I've never called you and asked you for anything. Like,
Yeah.
why are you bothering me? Like, you know,
Yeah.
you're from Gambia, I'm from Gambia. If I want to land, I can do that myself. I don't need you to do that. But
Yeah.
you know what? The guy insisted. I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I said, send me the video and
Uh oh.
pictures.
Uh oh.
But hey, I still didn't get anything. You
I
see?
know.
I still didn't get anything. So people have to understand, like, this is real. Like, you could sit on the internet and swallow all these sweet things, and because the way I even hear some of these people explain, you know, these schemes, I'm like, oh man, you are setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah. Very easily.
Yeah,
Very easily.
because you're making yourself an easy prey. And these people that come on the internet, they see somebody like her talking about these things,
Yeah.
you know, and the hustle, she learned it because you know what? She went on her channel and brought the Wakandan queen. You know who that is, right?
Oh, of course.
She brought the Wakandan queen and couple of other some of their fans, and they brought another guy, black guy from America. He said he's a historian.
Oh, yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
So the guy said he's a historian.
Yeah. From where? From the United States, right?
Apparently, he
Yeah, they all are, man. When it comes to Africa, everybody is an historian. Uh, they have a lot to say about Africa, though.
I know.
Yeah, you know.
We're just joined by the Fang. Fang, can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, yes, it's going to be short. Yeah, it's be short because I need to sleep properly. So, so what you're saying right now, all is true. People have to understand that what you're saying is true. So I can go to any company and write a good review, and I didn't have the things. And even sometimes not seeing pictures, something is true. I think buying from the YouTubers, my advice.
Hold on. Fang, Fang, are you wearing a headpiece? Cause it's like crackling.
No, I'm my house. It's trying to sleep.
Yeah, it's really really like the sound is really bad.
Can you hear me, St. James?
That's much better now. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Oh,
Yeah,
much
yeah.
better.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. So it's like this. Uh, my advice: don't buy things from these people. That is my advice. Yeah, because I don't care if he has a bodyguard right now. I can have a bodyguard if I want to. And even I know people that work for the Israeli. Yeah, and I can have a good bodyguard if I want in Denmark. Yeah, for example. So don't be scared about these people trying to threaten you,
Oh no
as
no no,
Jack was saying.
not me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why. Don't care about it. The president knows them. That is a bad thing. When the president is just watching you, it's a
Yeah,
bad thing.
yeah. Well, the thing of the matter is, people are hang up on things that things like that don't really matter. Is usually a distraction because when she came on the Unapologetic Negropeans channel, which I gotta give it to him, he laid it out. He brought the people in to talk about what was going on. But if you notice, first she talked about, oh, let's go to court, whatever. She would not even admit to the things that she's talked about in her videos. In fact, she forgot that people have been watching it. And then when she left to go start her own live stream, she sent the husband to come down there to defend it. And they allowed him to talk. If you haven't seen the video yet, go back and watch.
I was
And
there.
yeah, so they allowed him to talk, but he kept raising his voice because what he was doing is to raise the temperature, to bring chaos, so that these people will not ask, genuine questions. And the fact of the matter is, people need to know the truth here. For some people, this might feel like an entertainment or whatsoever, but this is serious business because not only is a entire country, like let's say individuals can lose few thousands here and there, but what about the entire country? In fact, I was listening to local news from the Gambia today. They had a community where the people clashed. They clashed over land situation. I'm talking about physically clashing. They had to arrest some of those people. And a lot of these lands people don't understand. They are tied. There's so many hands, ownerships tied to it. So if you're not careful, you could easily lose your money, because she has a story. She knows your weakness. She knows you're into the pro-black thing. So she comes and pacifies you and start telling you about quote unquote racism. Because if you think about it, I know like the video that I made, some people might look at it, like, man, why is this guy making this video? The point I was making is, and still making, is if an individual, sells you, is constantly selling you a story about a place, individual, certain culture, and they are not that person. They are not from that culture. They only say they are saying this based on just skin color. You should question that, because I know for a fact if an African does it, they would be called fake.
My brother, let me just say to you a goodbye for just a
Yes,
while.
because we're gonna talk tomorrow, anyways.
Exactly, and a lot of things are going to happen. What you're saying right now, yeah. So it's not a point to be here when we're going to touch this more or less the same points you're saying right now. Yeah.
Yes. Let's.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank you
very
for
much.
coming. Okay.
Okay. Bye bye. Bye bye, James.
After Damas, I mean, okay, I look forward for that interview tomorrow, right? But what I would like to say is that, on the Wakanda Queen channels, right? You
Right.
get, I notice a few Gambians, right?
Mm-hmm.
When they come on her panel, it's like they even trying to paint other African as haters.
Oh,
And I
trust me, I've seen it. I have videos that I'm going to bring.
right,
Yeah,
right.
it's literally a disgrace. Like, I know some people are not gonna like what I'm going to say, but unfortunately, like, people talk about ass kisses, bro, but Gambia, there's a lot of like, professional ass kissers there, and they bring the
Okay,
ass kissing game to the internet as well.
right,
Yeah, and
right.
and yeah, just like you're saying, I've seen them on the Wakandan Queen's channel. Because ask
Yeah,
yourself, I came there. She blocked me. She wouldn't allow me to speak,
right,
and I wasn't speaking blasphemy.
right.
Yeah, I wasn't speaking blasphemy.
Yeah,
I was,
you wasn't
I
doing
was,
anything.
yeah, I was speaking about the topic that she is talking about. She said she's Gambian by, doing DNA. In fact, she turned to, she's like, I might be even more Gambian than you. But, okay, you said, you're showing me a paper that you said white people. But they told us not to trust white people. Which one is it?
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
if I'm jealous, you are supposed to tell me what I'm jealous on, man. What are they doing that we can't do or what we haven't done? So it's like, for me, I'm sitting there listening to them. I'm like, okay, guys, are they throwing you crumbs on the table for you to come here and talk like that, or are you not living in Africa? I'm like, okay, we have seen this before, a long time ago.
Right.
So other Africans even moved in your country from neighboring country. They have opened business, hired the local. They did all that. It's not brand new. Why are you like, okay, because they come from the West, you're gonna sit on this panel and talk about your brothers like that? I'm like, what kind of hating is that? It's like
Well,
it's crazy.
well,
It's like
it's, I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, like, the serious black people that are really about it, those people have moved to not only Gambia, but, many other countries. They've been living there for 20, 30, 40 years. Those people don't come on the internet.
yes.
So,
And
so
they have open businesses. They
yeah.
raise families. They bought homes. No problems there.
But now, St. James, I want to ask you, like, with the Blaxit thing, and, getting tied up with in all this land situation. I get it. People are saying because I've seen some Gambians in the comment sections before, on the unapologetic Negro peons videos. They're like, "Oh, how can you know a non-Gambian come and do this?" I mean, like, to me, right? I kind of question that because you notice, right? The people that dealt with her directly and the people
Right.
that met her in person, none of them have questioned her Gambian citizenship.
Correct.
Have you see what I'm saying? It's only the internet people questioning her Gambian citizenship.
Yeah.
Don't you
I
find
don't,
that interesting?
it is interesting, and to me, I don't believe she's a citizen yet, right?
I, I, I mean, I don't know, but the
Yeah.
fact of the matter is, in Gambia, that doesn't really matter. Like it
Yeah.
just blows my mind when they put a lot of emphasis on that on the internet.
Hmm.
Like they really don't care. This is why she went to the village. She's got her own village now that she
Right.
belongs to. You see,
Yeah.
but
Right.
but
Right.
but
By going to the village, those villages, they're not gonna question that.
I
They're
know,
gonna see you pushing. They're gonna see you pushing a nice car. You're gonna tell them a nice stories about the West.
and
After an hour, you're done. The deal is sealed. You
well,
know.
that's another thing. Like a lot of these guys that come on the internet, right?
Yeah.
It's like if they really know the power they have, they wouldn't be
Yeah.
wasting their time here,
Yeah.
just talking. They would buy a ticket and go over there and
Go visit.
go visit. They would be welcomed. But
Yeah.
the Wakandan queen, here's what I heard her say. She said she wants to be welcomed, with people, throwing flowers, drumming for her, you know. So I said, if that's all she needs, she just has to let me know. I can arrange for that.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
not difficult to do.
that's not difficult to do. In fact, St. James, let me run this idea by you and people that
Right.
are watching, and let me know if this is a good business to start, where people, because people that are looking, black people that are looking to go back to Africa and they want to be welcomed Zamunda style, where
Hmm.
so we'll create an agency where
Hmm.
this we would have like drumming ensembles, and so we put a group together. When they're coming, you pay a fee.
Hmm.
We would take them to welcome them at the airport, and
Yeah.
they, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, in Gambia, the drummers, I'm sure in Burkina Faso is the same way. They
Oh
can
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
improvise. They can improvise and make songs for you, like right on the spot with your name in it.
Yeah.
So
Everybody's gonna be happy. They will get the welcoming they deserve, and the locals gonna get paid. We can do that.
yeah. So, but the fact of the matter is,
You know.
what the conversation is about, they don't want to talk about that. Because my thing is, why are they trying to sell the land to people who haven't even, visited the country yet?
Yeah.
So what
You
if they
see,
don't like it?
we spoke like I was on a different panel, and this is when I returned. I was back home back in April, right? And when I came back with a different mentality. I chose to address the panel in a different fashion, and some people didn't like it, but I was getting perceived by certain people, correctly. And I have told them, how can you sit in a foreign land and buy a land in a different country? Make that make sense for me. And no one could explain that to me. But one of my friends was able to do so because it's like like what the Brexit is doing. Africa is the future. You gotta have your own land. Everybody else is buying it. You should buy it, and you can't stop people from thinking that way. When I was like, okay, if you have that kind of money, why don't you visit first
Right.
in community where you're gonna build your house and see if you like it, mingle with the people and see. You have to determine that for yourself. Building a house is not. I'm not saying is easy, but I'm like, if you get that part, taken care of, The next step is easy. You can
Yeah,
do that over time. You just build your house slowly, but you don't know the place, and you get to the country and you see that your land is in the middle of nowhere. I,
exactly. You see.
you know,
I'm glad you
I'm like,
brought that up. The places they were talking about,
right,
the places that Blaxit apparently this we're talking about. This is like in the boonies, like in the middle of
right,
nowhere, because
middle of nowhere,
Casa Kunda, those places are in the middle of nowhere.
right,
So, obviously, you're being duped, and there's no, because obviously they can see, there isn't many Gambians looking to relocate to those places.
right,
These places you can't access them, during the rainy season.
right.
The roads are bad. They don't have running water, electricity. You see what I'm saying? And
Yes,
the government, I don't think they are looking, looking to fix that problem,
yeah,
anytime soon. You see, but they don't take this into account. Instead of
yeah,
just taking the time, you know, um, someone telling you, "Oh, Africa is the future," blah blah blah. Fine. Why don't you go find out for yourself?
yeah,
Go
yeah,
find out for yourself. If you say, even when they say Africa is the future, what do they mean by the future? The future to what?
yeah. You could be to nothing.
Exactly. And hey, what do you think about Africans that sell their, for instance, when they're talking about African problem in their country, but they try to sell that story as black story. Do you think, would you blame the blacks to be upset at that, for instance?
Okay. Can you be a little more specific about that?
Okay, like for instance, let's say if I'm selling a story
Hmm.
about Gambian problem, Gambians having issues,
Hmm.
but then I'm telling the story here, but
Hmm.
I'm passing it off as black problem instead of describing it exactly as what it is. Because I don't know if people are doing this to fit their mode of hustle.
Yeah. No, I believe every problem in a specific country should be specific in that different in that location. It doesn't. It can't be an African problem. I see what you mean. It's like, oh yeah, they're having problem here in this area, so therefore everywhere is supposed to be the same, right? Is that
Right.
what you mean?
No,
Nah.
no, another thing too, for instance, right?
Mhm.
You're from Burkina Faso, like,
Yes.
I mean, I've never been there, I don't
Right.
know, like, I've met just a few people from there. In
Right.
fact, my ancestors, that's where they come from. Like the capital, Ouagadougou.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that's not even the name. The actual name is Ouagadougou.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ouagadougou, name rhymed with my last name. It's named
Mhm.
after, people with my clan.
Okay.
So, but me physically myself, I mean that's like many centuries ago, you see.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
I've met few people from there, so I would want to learn about like Burkina Faso, you see. But if I'm watching you or talking to you,
Right.
but you are not telling me the actual story about Burkina Faso, but you're just mincing it, trying to make it sound like you're telling me a story about someone in Southside Chicago. Southside Chicago and have their own story. I
Right.
understand that story. But don't
Right.
try to, mash those two together.
Yeah. Yeah. I see a lot of people do that on YouTube here, and which is very unfortunate. Like that's why I was like, we need more African like you to come, to come and explain to them exactly what kind of dynamic that goes on the continent, so we can be able to sometimes even compare and contrast. You know,
And
if we
and
do
and, the,
it.
and another thing we have to speak, because I'm about speaking facts.
Oh yeah,
For
absolutely. That's why
instance,
I came that's why I came. The first time when you did your video. No, no, no. I've seen you on where you had a conversation with Brand. No, 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 that was Bijou Noir. Well, Brandon somewhere,
Yeah.
and I was like,
I've had several with him.
right, right. That was a long time. That was about 5 months ago, 6 months ago.
Right.
And the way you were approaching the topic, I was like, bro, I need that brother. We need to have a conversation. And then I didn't see you anymore. I was like, okay. And then when I saw you back, I was like, we need more of you guys, like, because things that I hear from the Gambia, like when I see those people on panels with Bijou Noir, I am like, these are straight up sellouts. I'm like,
It's a disgrace. You know what's funny about the whole thing?
yeah,
They are on a panel,
yeah,
being they're criticizing what they are being. Because
yeah,
now here you got someone who's got Wakandan dreams, right?
yeah,
But this is they've already wrote their script. This is what they're
right,
about.
yeah, yeah,
But now the question is, how was she able to sell this story to them for them to become a disciple of her? So that tells you how, people, when people keep asking questions, how slavery happen? Watch the internet.
yeah,
People don't understand human nature hasn't changed that
mhm,
much. It's just you become aware, become civilized and
yeah,
become self-conscious. That's what changes the mind. But the same mindset we're seeing it. So now these people are coming on that panel. Like I watched a panel where the Wakandan queen came. She was very, very upset. Very upset at apparently the some of the Gambians made a video live stream criticizing the Blaxit requesting automatic citizenship. That's another interesting thing. Why does she want the citizenship right away? Is it because she want to fully start selling land?
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
But the Wakandan queen was very upset. So
Right,
she set up, I call it the courthouse. She
right.
summoned all her usuals, to Niger,
Yeah.
and a couple of them, Fanta, the girl from Liberia. But look, St.
Yeah,
James, St.
yeah,
James,
yeah. What up?
I don't know what type of people these people are,
Yeah,
what they think about, but
yeah.
it blows my mind. So
Yeah, I pull one of them. I pull one of them on a private, right? I was on live one day, and I pulled one of them like privately. I was like, "Bruh," I'm like, "What are you doing?" And that guy couldn't even answer. I was coming at him like, "Yo, you need to reconsider things that you are saying sometimes. Like, yeah, it's embarrassing. Like, come on now, you are African. We're from the continent. You know what's going on. Be factual.
right.
Be honest. Be straight." That's all we need. You don't have to be, all like, I'm like, yo, just be factual with these people. That's all they need, you
But
know?
you see, this is why people are getting scammed. Because think about it. When you shield yourself from hearing the truth,
Yeah,
this is what end up happening to
yeah,
people. But now imagine this is how good they are. They are able to sell it to even Gambian individuals.
yeah.
So they
I believe
cannot
for the
blame
Gambians,
her.
I believe for the Gambians, I believe phone calls are made to those people. I believe money is being exchanged,
Right.
right? I believe they are being told, you know what, your brothers are not your brother in the diaspora, someone like us, like the Africans that left the continent, they're now looking for you for your best interest.
Right.
Let us come in, let us settle, let us do what we do. In the meantime, you can take this. I believe money is being exchanged for those people to come on these panels.
Right.
I don't see any other way they can come here and sit there and just talk trash about the Africans that live on the diaspora or in Africa, like the Gambia. Like it is very impossible. All these people they're talking about, the Indians, the Chinese, and all these people have been there for how long?
I know, dude.
After
Like Before I was
Come on.
born.
Since what? We can't even
Well,
determine when.
well,
And they're not buying up everything. They're not buying up everything.
yeah. Well, that's what I don't pay attention to some of those silly things they say, but then when I start seeing those panels, right?
Yeah.
And there's another guy, I don't. I'm sure you know him, African, Franklin. You know Franklin, right?
Uh, I, yeah, I know him, but I don't follow him. I don't know.
Well, I've been on this guy's show, right? This guy,
Yeah.
you know, he confidently comes on there and start telling these stories, talking about how brave he is. He's not afraid of anyone.
Okay.
We don't need to get into that. It's just we're having a conversation. But
Uh-huh.
now he said it's an open platform for Africans, black people. I
Right.
consider myself an African, a black person.
Right.
I come on the platform, everybody is
Right.
talking. So I asked him questions. He didn't like my question, how the question is going, the conversation. And
Right.
I'm not raising my voice. It's not like an argument. We're just talking. But he drops me off right away.
Okay.
Because these people don't
Okay.
want to have logical conversation. And some of the
Yeah.
people called him out. They said,
Right.
dude, they're like, come on, we want to hear what this guy has to say. He's like, oh, it's just, he dropped off. But I try to come on. I try to come on, right? I
Yeah.
saw that he blocked me from being able to come on.
Wow.
So exactly. So this is my thing where like I was looking at all these things and I'm like, okay, so these people really think they can just come here and lump all of us in a group, but they are
Yeah.
not going to allow you to talk. That's hypocrisy. So
That's
fine.
it. Yeah.
I can have my own channel too and talk about what I want to talk about.
Absolutely.
You see? Because
Yeah.
because you're coming here, you're selling a story to paint all of us with one brush.
Yeah.
And sometimes you cannot blame the Wakandan queen because look at the people that are going to her channel. Look at what they're telling her. I heard
Yeah.
Fanta.
Yeah.
Fanta told the Wakandan queen to she told the Wakandan queen to go to the UN or ECOWAS,
Mm-hmm.
to go to ECOWAS and file something there. And I'm thinking, I said, Fanta, I think Fanta suffers from chronic refugee syndrome. Because it's like, okay, she's gonna go to ECOWAS. What is she gonna tell ECOWAS? What is she filing for? Is she a
Right.
refugee?
Right.
So when I talk about these things, I know like it's sometimes said in humor, but pay attention, people. You will see exactly what I'm telling you here.
Right.
You will see what is going on. So this
Yeah.
is why I ask the question to all of them. What are we uniting on?
That would not be answer. Trust me. I kind of spoke about the same thing, and I'm not getting any answer. I'm just hearing people like trying to go to Africa and live their best life. That's what I'm hearing, and this is okay too. But those are the questions, like one question, and you get everybody will stop, and you will see that no one would answer, and they will jump to something else, right?
But my thing is, right? Why is that question a negative question? So,
It is not.
because they're the ones saying it, right?
Yeah.
So tell us what you mean
Yeah.
when you say these things.
Yeah.
But because I saw how they when Blaxit went and made her video and those people were coming there, a lot of them they were lying to her. But you know what?
Yeah.
I can tell she knows they are lying to her
Yeah.
because something tells me she's in trouble because she's been posting on YouTube here, of
Right.
all her accolades, the boreholes, the people she met. I
Yeah.
mean, she's shook by something.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
she's shook by something. And for me, right, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
here to try to convince anybody of anything.
Mm-hmm.
But the things I have said in my videos, my previous videos,
Mm-hmm.
they are all coming to fruition. You know,
Yeah.
people are seeing it play out right here
Yeah.
on on YouTube, because you know there are African Pan Africanists too who are hustlers, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Did you know? Believe it or not, some of them have contacted me already.
Okay.
They told me that they said, why do you, Afridamus, why do you want to focus your energy on on fighting other black people? I said, I'm not fighting anybody.
Yeah.
You know, like literally, look at what I said here. This is the
Mm-hmm.
pro black news channel. You
Right.
know, the right here I wrote it. Why would I write that? Pro black news.
Mm-hmm. If they're so real, why they didn't come to your channel? Why they sending emails? I would be like, okay, no. Instead of sending email, why don't you come and have a conversation with us?
Well,
An
that's what
honest
I know.
conversation.
well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
The people, like anyone can have a YouTube channel.
Correct.
So these things that they want me to talk about, they can just easily go talk about it themselves.
Right.
This is what I want to talk about.
Right.
Look at Lift Every Voice said, I'm bashing Pan Africanism. But you see how this guy would totally ignore the fact that people is other Pan Africanists, quote unquote, scamming other Pan Africanists allegedly. We are seeing this play out. But
Yeah.
but all he heard is Afridamus is fighting, Pan Africans. So instead of him thanking me, bringing awareness to people to let them know this is what the hustle is over there.
Yeah.
You can drink the poison and then later come back and tell us about how you are such a victim.
Right.
Because, St. James, I believe that there is a lot of black people in general, not just in America,
Right.
especially Africa also. I think they're addicted to victimhood. Do you do you believe
Absolutely.
that?
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen on the continent here. I've seen it. They want to be abused and so they can have a story to tell, you know? And I've seen it. And oftentimes when you try to come up with solutions for them, they don't even try to hear you. So those are the people I try to stay away from because you can't help them.
Because I mean, take for example, even some of the most popular Pan Africanists, like Dr. Umar. I saw where he went to Gambia, talked to the,
So you
you
went
know,
there?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's what
Okay.
I'm telling you. Like they have a little group somewhere up there.
I
So
need a donation, right? I want a donation.
exactly. So my thing is, the donation is about the school, but nobody has ever asked the question, where's the school curriculum? What is this school going to be about?
Where is your board member? Where are the people? Like the people helping you? We don't see them.
But also if you look at it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, his school is entirely based on about white people. So if his school is based on white people and he received this education from white people, what is he going to be teaching at this school? Have you people ever thought about that? Nobody ever thinks about things like this. I know St. James dropped, but I'm going to continue talking about what I'm talking about now. So I was giving Dr. Omar as an example because he's the most popular, Pan Africanist, if you must know. So it wouldn't be too far fetched to talk about him. Let's see. St. James, unmute yourself. St. James, unmute yourself. Oh, so lift every voice. You're saying is not based in white education. So you yourself, you've heard Dr. Umar challenge people. St. James, go. Oh, hold on. Sorry. St. James, can you hear me? Let's see. Can you hear me? Okay, unmute yourself now.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
You can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Give me a second here. Let me
Okay.
fix the because you came in as two, so
Oh,
I
okay.
still have the other one up. So I'm gonna, delete that real quick. Hold on. Can you hear me? Oh man, sorry. I think I accidentally clicked you off. Call back again. So, okay, people, right now, you look at it, lift every voice is saying over here that, oh, Dr. Umar's education is not based in, about the same white people that he's criticizing. Why don't you go check and see what schools he went to? So, if he went to the white people's school, they're the ones that taught him everything that he spouts. So, what are you guys saying he's coming up with something new that we haven't already known yet? Okay, St. James, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, perfect. But yeah, so
Gotcha.
like I was saying, for instance, the example I was giving about like Dr. Omar Johnson, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
What would the school curriculum be about if he went to the white people's school? What is he going to be teaching? Can you hear me? Man, St. James, I think your thing is janky, man. Let me fix that. Sorry, folks. I think he's his internet, man. I don't know if he's got the what do they call it, the Obama internet, the the Obama internet. That's St. James. I gotta make fun of you about that. That logic is weird. Omar talks about unity and color. Exactly. Okay, fine. Lift every voice. I get it. Dr. Omar talks about unity just like every other Pan-Africanist I have met. Great. You've heard me talk about this, but I have been asking the question. When we say unity, what type of unity are we talking about? What type of unity? Because we've got plenty of videos, people, shooting one another, people fighting one another. Even over there in Africa, where now they are saying people have to repatriate to. The same drama, people are not driving, pulling off drive-bys, but it's a different type of hustle. Now people are becoming real estate agents, and so So far, the stories we're getting, they are not going well. Lift every voice. There's nothing wrong with unity, but you have to have something, principle, values that you're uniting on. You can't just vaguely say, let's unite. What are we uniting on? People would say skin color. Fine. I'm from Africa. The black factory. Not everyone is think alike. Unity against colonialism. Yeah. Well, yeah, people have done that, and name one African country that is still, under colonialism. And I get it. People are going to say, "Oh, neo-colonialism." Okay. They keep moving the goalpost. Okay? And people don't want to admit the truth. That's why it blows my mind when I see people making excuses for African dictators. I've even seen pro-blacks giving a shout out to Idi Amin. You don't understand Africa's history, because you want to come to an African and keep selling to an African that their oppressor is a white man, when that African have seen who their real oppressor is. You see? I've seen people giving shout outs to African dictators. You do realize in most African countries, people do not have freedom of speech, freedom of expression. They don't. There is repercussions for it. So this is why, you look at it, you know what that does? It stifles people's thinking. Because when you limit the vocabulary, the things that people can say, now, you've blocked their thinking. So that dictatorship, you have to ask yourself, where is that coming from? Obviously, from the culture. People have been taught to think that way, in an oppressive manner. In fact, I've even heard people make this argument that when you say, but in Africa, African people enslave Africans, they're like, that wasn't bad. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, are you serious right now? Do you want to tell me? You want to tell me that any type of slavery, I don't care whether you're enslaved by white men, Chinese, Blackinese, whoever. Let's just say your total freedom is taken. Do you honestly care about the color of the person taking your freedom? If you have common sense, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. So when you are sold lies upon lies upon lies, over time that becomes your reality, and you try to implement it, because for most people it's a theory. A lot of these people that are coming on YouTube, the pro-blacks, the people, it's a theory they are selling you. But now we're seeing how this theory is coming up. For instance, the unapologetic Negropean, when he touched on these topics, people hated him. They started calling him an agent. When I hear black people call someone an agent, translation, intelligent. That means you're smart, you're intelligent. You see what they are up to. This is why they don't like what you're saying. This is why they don't like it. So when you start, you know how, have you ever seen roaches in a dark place? When you shine light on them, they just scatter all over. So when you watch that live, what you saw there, think about it. That is the true Pan-African coalition. But you see what was going on there. Yes, the people, look, they are united. They are united, all right. Every single one of them were united around what? Chaos, confusion, loudness, insults. People are not happy over there. And they are the cause of their own unhappiness. Because you're the one that clicked on the video and allow a complete stranger to sell you false hope. False hope. Simple and straightforward. But now, people don't want to be adults. They don't want to live with the consequences of their decisions. And at some point, somebody has to point that out. And this is not just entirely to say it's an, African thing. This is how, like I'm talking about Gambia there. This is how it works. This woman hasn't done anything that the Gambians themselves are not doing it to other Gambians. That's what is happening. So this is why people should start facing reality. Don't just hide behind skin color, because when you see Africa, for instance, you're stuck in the Africa of back in the days, the fantasy, you're behind time. That's just fantasy. People are people. Like it's about either good or bad. It doesn't matter where they go. People are people. If you take the time and get to know them beyond just their outer appearance, because people are about spirits. That's how you connect with people anyways. But to think that you're going to be loud, obnoxious, and ignorant, and then try to say we are related and associated. No, we're not related. We're not associated by any, way, shape, or form. Straightforward. But you see, the people that have common sense and logic, those people would come together. It doesn't matter where they come from. They would come together. And when they come together, they're going to build something positive. But in order for that to happen, you have to put all these, scammers, allegedly, on notice. To let them know, we want answers. All I'm doing here, I'm just trying to bring the dialogue to the forefront. Now, even for some of the Gambian land, real estate people, some of you have scammed people, and then you say, oh, we're family, we're all countrymen, let it go. Ask yourself, before you did that to this individual, did you think about that? To say, oh, this is my countryman, this is my family, I shouldn't do this to the individual. But no, you didn't think about that. You just wanted to get what you want, and you didn't care how. So this is why people should start thinking deep about things. If you're really this committed, you're truly committed to something like, repatriating to Africa, and you're willing to send money, once that crosses your mind, kick back, come back to this channel and listen to the video. Do not do it. Buy your plane ticket and go over there. Look at the one guy, I think, was it Dwayne? Look at what happened to Dwayne. He sent his money to these people for them to get the land for him. No land. But he ended up buying his plane ticket and then going to this place. He could have just waited and do all that at the same time, instead of, getting himself in this terrible situation. And when it comes to experience, people, you're the one creating your own experience. There is no such thing like the black community experience. No, you have your experience. Such and such person have their own experience. It's about you. You have to carry your own cross. Because guess what? When you receive your paycheck, they're not going to say, This is for the black community or the African community. They say John Smith or John Washington. This is your check. So, the same way you take responsibility for that check, take responsibility when you lose it as well. Because that woman and her husband, they are not standing there, forcing you to send them that money. And I know I'm not gonna sit here and try to say I'm criticizing her. No. I'm just showing, her as an example to all of you. Because when I tell you about something in a video and then it eventually plays out for people to see, it's easier. You see, for diaspora and black people, they put everything on camera. Everything on camera. This type of transactions are taking place in Gambia every day. But they move, under the radar. They are not announcing it on camera. So people tend to, delude themselves when they display something on camera, like you're stuck in this bubble, not realizing that there is a whole entire world, existing and revolving around that. So once you're explaining things on video, people are sitting there, watching. The wolves, the hyenas, they are salivating for your coming. What? You're talking about you're running away? That's mistake number one. Don't act desperate. Why would you, act so desperately talking about, I'm going to Africa. Oh, I'm so happy to be here. Some of you, your behavior is shameful. Getting all emotional, acting teary, talking about we're here for you to save us. Look, a lot of Africans, they would laugh at this. They're not taking this seriously. So whatever you think your experience is, save it for, meeting number 1,000. And when you're coming, know this, you're being seen as someone with power. But this power would only persist if you hold on to it and know how to use it. But at the same time, you can turn that power into your biggest weakness, and you attract things that you think about constantly. If you're constantly thinking of yourself as a victim, somebody that things happen to, hey, don't be shocked when they happen to you. But then again, don't be upset at people who don't think that way, who don't see themselves that way. For instance, in my life, I'm the hero because I'm the one writing this script. So, every single time, every episode, I am the hero in it. It's a fun life. I suggest you do the same. Listen. I'm not saying don't listen to people, but listen to it, analyze it, but don't be a sheep. Don't be a sheep. The lady, I forgot her name. Her name just, China. Her name is China. China looks very upset. I can tell she's probably, sent her last, hard-earned money over there to Gambia to get a land. And I'm telling you, the areas they were talking about, my mind is blown that a group of people who know nothing about farming are buying lands in farming areas. I don't know if they even understand that they're buying lands in areas that are way, way underdeveloped. Look, it's one thing to be in your apartment, in your nice couch, in front of your computer, your TV, walking to your fridge, getting whatever you want, and just create these fantasies for yourself. It's super easy to think you can do these things. But this is no joke. These places are no joke. It's no joke. It's not America. I've heard people even talking about, oh, does the government help? Is there jobs? There is no jobs. What government? Do you not see even that government asking the Europeans to help them out? We all see it. That is if you're paying attention to what is going on. But some of you, like for instance, you would narrate these things to me and I'm like, yeah, I know, but you're saying it thinking you're trying to shame me. That's another thing that takes black people down, because they like these shaming things. Look, I'm not ashamed about any of that. I'm not the one that created it. I found myself in it. And then I took myself out of it. So, but it made me a real expert, a true expert who would be able to speak on the matter. I'm not claiming to know everything, but I know a whole lot about this. This is new to you. This is not new to me. I've been calling out even Gambians for many years about these same situations. Same thing. They would talk to you super duper nice. But the moment you make that mistake, look, it's not a matter of where the individual is from, but just rule of thumb, like common sense. Like if you're not going to, take thousands of dollars to give to someone here, in America, some YouTuber, just because, for instance, if I tell them to give me their money, they're not gonna do it. They'll be like, oh, he's over here in America. But I'm more credible than them. You see? I'm more credible than them. But if you are not going to do that here, why would you do it for somebody who's not even in the country? Now people are talking about, trying to take legal action. So, do they think that legal action is going to be free? It's not going to be free. These people are agents of chaos. It is not racism. It is not white people. It is not sexism. Whatever isms you believe in, that's not what it's about. The same people, think about it. We've all watched this video. The same person that's telling the whole world, everyone, that we shouldn't trust white people. In fact, she went as far as saying she denounced light-skinned mixed people. But she doesn't even realize. I'm sure she knows, because wherever she is, it's not hidden. There are tons and tons of Gambians who are mixed. So what are you going to tell those people and their children? But she went as far as saying things like that, all in the name of what? Pro-black. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of the show. I gotta plug my computer in. It's been a great conversation. Tomorrow I'm going to be on the African Fang Show. Make sure you catch that, and I will see you over there.